Spotify has over 600 million users, and it is the world's most dominant audio platform. And yet, it barely makes money. And today, we want to explain why and what Spotify must do about this issue. If we look at the problem they have, we quickly find out it's more structural than operational. Spotify licenses virtually all of its music from record labels, and they pay roughly 70% per dollar they earn straight back out as licensing fees. And what makes this dangerous? Those fees scale directly with usage. So the more people that listen to Spotify, the more Spotify pays. And therefore, growth doesn't compound into profit. So in short, labels, they own the content and Spotify owns the pipe. And even after 600 million users now, margins still remain structurally capped. So with this issue, we have two options for the future. Option A would be to double down on the existing music business. So we raise prices, we cut costs, we optimize advertising. But this doesn't really solve the structural problem. The licensing fee trap still remains. And then option B is that we expand aggressively into owned audio content. That means we look at podcasts, audiobooks, and exclusive shows. And that content will give Spotify the rights, and we don't have to pay any licensing fees anymore. So these two options are presented are fundamentally different. And option A will optimize on the existing problem and model, and option B will change the economies entirely. So after we analyze this problem now and the potential solutions, we recommend option B. And here's why. First of all, we will escape our margin trap. The owned content carries no per stream licensing fees. So every dollar that we earn stays with Spotify and will not go to the label. Secondly, we can capture value. Right now, Spotify is a distributor. So owned content makes it a creator. And that shift changes who captures the value in the industry. Third, we lock our customers in. Exclusive podcasts and show they create genuine switching costs. And that's something that their main competitors as Amazon Music or Apple Music cannot replicate overnight. And lastly, there is an advertising upside. So podcast advertising is highly marginal, and we can create targeted and fast-growing ads that are just highly demanded. And this is a revenue stream that doesn't really exist in the licensing music industry yet. So with this solution, we still have to keep the risks in mind. Building our own content is super expensive, and the podcast market also is very competitive. And lastly, user habits in spoken audio really can differ from the preferences in music. But the strategic reality is that staying in the music first industry will actually be the riskier path. It locks Spotify into a model where profitability is permanently capped by the labels who will never really voluntarily give up their market share. And this status quo is not safe. It's a slow squeeze. Therefore, to come to a conclusion, Spotify's path to profitability doesn't lie in streaming more music. It lies in owning more of what people really like to listen to. Thank you very much.